everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
White women don't want to date white men anymore, y'all. They are so aware of what is currently happening in their community that it has gotten to a point where they have this physical like a visceral reaction to the idea of conceptualizing anything long term with the men who are currently a part of their community. There has also been this wave where a lot of liberal women are recognizing that the pool of men who are white that they are attracted to is beginning to shrink, because there are so many of them that are aligning with conservative values due to the way that they are socially conditioned by the patriarchy. If you did not realize or know, there is a story that's currently going around, reporting about a fraternity located in Utah or Iowa, excuse me, that had a very, very, very large group of men who were covered in different fluids and substances in the bottom of a basement of a fraternity home that were basically, after the police officers like found these individuals downstairs, one of them questioned these young men and asked, is everyone okay? What's going on? None of these men responded, right? To see this level of conditioning happen, widespread, and to see that so many of these men like now have access to the women that are in their communities, to like women recognize that most men no longer are like governing their own like bodily and like intellectual autonomy anymore. And since white men have access to so many pipelines, that like prevent them from being educated, from being like critical thinkers, from being introspective and being like fully autonomous and like on their own plane, a lot of the women in their communities are openly opting out. They're saying like, we are recognizing that you all are like you're conditioned to be clinically and psychologically dumb people, and it's made it difficult for us to want to continue procreating. And this is why they're now attacking a lot of white women. Like, white women are receiving a lot of backlash for being liberal or for choosing sides or becoming more vocal about the current political state of the world. um and they recognize, they're like, wait a minute, this is now our issue. And most people in those in fields, like whether it be through legislation or part of corporations or like bigger pipelines that receive a lot of support, the men in those communities are recognizing that these white women are becoming too vocal, and they are using the construct of patriarchy, and forms of masculinity, or the construct of masculinity as well, to continue marginalizing these white women and alienating them into individual groups, and making them, feel like they're super shitty people, and telling them that they're basically trying to keep them under the thumb. And these white men don't even recognize it, but they're intentionally trying to group these people into in other communities. And we're now recognizing that there's like a level of racial refuge that white women are seeking, because the men who they are supposed to be confiding in, when they recognize that they also receive a level of privilege whilst being married to the individuals who hold being married and holding proximity to the individuals who hold the largest amount of power in the United States of America. They're recognizing that, like, with that refuge, they care so much more about being in community with people who actually value and care about them than they do like tying their hands into like white supremacy and what patriarchy is. This is why you see so many white women who are in community with a lot more black women who are open to talking to black women, even though it's already took them a very, very long time to do so. That are genuinely like seeking refuge and attempting to like educate themselves, and they're like, we're tired of these white men. They're calling white men out on their bullshit. They're having conversation because they're just like, this isn't a reality of the world that we want anymore. And it's like, if we're gonna be married to you, if we're gonna procreate, if we're gonna bring white babies into this world and allow them to be born into this system, it's either going to be deconstructed, or we would rather die trying. One take.
Oh man, he's all cuddled up in his bed like it's 65 degrees in his house. He got the bonnet on. The camera is technically sideways. He's laying down. I just can't take this dude serious. But he was cooking. Anyway, one thing I do know is once white women, this is what he's saying, is white women being rejected by white men. Also, with the whole patriarchy thing, they're gonna try to find refuge in black women. And I'm not saying like that's their only outlet, but I did another thing where I did a content creator. She was like, she was like, black women don't fall. Or it was a white lady said, black women don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. When these white women who really didn't rock with you before, now all of a sudden want to be your friend because I don't think it's. I got to do more investigation because I really don't understand what they're really meaning by white women want to take on black spaces, because black women don't really want them dating black men. They do, but whenever you really talk to, if you really talk to a black woman, some of them aren't appreciative of the white women that specifically take the good, so-called good men, NBA players, NFL players, rich lawyers. But I believe that those are the people that are in the spaces that they are in, and that's how they meet them. It's not like you're going to school to be a lawyer and you might be surrounded by a lot of black women, but black career driven women in college are not interested in men, and especially black men. They're not that interested in them. So they're more focused on their goals and their career, especially coming out of college, going into like a corporate field, or even studying to be a doctor or a lawyer, or something very important. They have less time for men. So you see a lot of single women with very good jobs. They might have a kid or two, but that's because their discernment for picking a man is crazy. So I don't see how they would accept white women if they don't even accept black men. And those same black women don't like white women dating black men. So why would they invite them in their space where they'll be around more black men? I don't know. It's a crazy situation. But let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section.